Good morning, Kelsey. Today I'm bringing you a review of a book. This is a book that you and I have talked about before, and so you already know how I feel about it, but the rest of the world does not. So I thought I would share my opinions about this book. But first, I feel like I need to give some background on why I even picked this book up. So as you may remember from our first video, Kelsey and I are huge fans of Jane Austen. We even have a Jane Austen book club. Jane Austen is very near and dear to my heart, and one of her books in particular gives me a lot of joy. And that book is Pride and Prejudice. I love Pride and Prejudice. Elizabeth Bennet is my absolute favorite literary character of all time. The whole reason I got into Jane Austen is because of the movie You've Got Mail. I love Kathleen Kelly. She is one of my favorite movie characters, and she loves Pride and Prejudice, so I decided I have to read Pride and Prejudice. I believe I was either a freshman or a sophomore in high school when I decided this, and so I devoured the book and then forced my mom to go with me to see the 2005 version of Pride and Prejudice in theaters. And if you know anything about me, you know that I became obsessed with the web series The Lizzie Bennet Diaries a couple of years ago, or 3 years ago. I don't know. Has it been that long? Has it been 3 years, guys? It's a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice set in a vlogger format. I started watching the show and loved it, and then sought out fans of the show. So through Twitter, through Tumblr, Facebook, I met some of my closest friends that I have now, and it's been just amazing. Not only have I met some amazing friends because of Lizzie Bennet Diaries, I also met my boyfriend. Pride and Prejudice just means a lot to me. It is an amazing book. It has my favorite literary character of all time. It's brought me my closest and best friends and my boyfriend, whom I love so much. Suffice to say, I love retellings of Pride and Prejudice. I loved the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, obviously. I am always very quick to grab a book that's a retelling, or watch a web series that's a retelling, or watch a movie that's a retelling. I cannot get enough of Pride and Prejudice. It's no surprise that I picked up this book, Eligible, by Curtis Sittenfeld. It is a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice. I was so excited for this book to come out. I actually went to Barnes & Noble on its release day and picked it up because I was so excited. Right now I'm going to give a spoiler-free review of the book. Then later I'm going to link to a video where I give a review full of spoilers. If you haven't read the book, you can continue to watch this video with peace of mind. If you have read the book, or you're not going to read the book and still want to know my spoiler review, then you can click on the link at the end of this video, and I'll also provide a link down below too. So it won't disrupt your viewing of this video. You can go to my other video to watch the spoiler review. Let's talk a little bit about this book first. It's a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice, as I've mentioned about 1,000 times before. Elizabeth Bennet is in her late 30s, and she is a writer at a magazine. Her and Jane live in New York City. Jane is a yoga instructor. All the rest of the Bennets live in their hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. In the beginning of the book, we find out that Mr. Bennet has had a health scare. Liz and Jane come to Cincinnati to help the family while their father is recovering. During their time home is when they come into contact with Chip Bingley, his lovely sister Caroline, and of course, Fitzwilliam Darcy. Chip Bingley and Darcy are both doctors. Chip has recently been on the latest season of Eligible, which is like The Bachelor. He was on this reality TV show where he was supposed to be, finding his love and picking his wife. He ended up not liking the two girls at the end enough, so he didn't choose anyone, and now he is in Cincinnati being a doctor. So that's kind of the premise of the book. Mrs. Bennet, as always, is trying to get her daughters married off, especially since they are quite a bit older. I think Jane has even already reached 40, or maybe she turns 40 during the book, I can't remember. So the book seemed really promising. I don't mind that Liz and Jane are, in their late 30s. I was really looking forward to a fresh retelling, but at the end of the day, I'm only giving this book 1 star out of 5. Yes, you heard that right. I didn't like this retelling of Pride and Prejudice. Here are some of my reasons why. Number 1, I did not like the characters especially Liz. Liz actually like got on my nerves. And Elizabeth Bennet is my favorite character of all time. I did not like her in this book. She was not true to the real Elizabeth Bennet that Jane Austen created. And neither was Bingley. I did not like Bingley, and you're supposed to really like Bingley. The only characters that I liked in this book was Jane and Lydia. You heard me right. I liked Lydia in this book, which might not come as much of a surprise because I love Lydia in the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. But I'm not a fan of Lydia in the original book, in Pride and Prejudice. So I actually really enjoyed Lydia in this book. She was probably my favorite part of this book, and that's why it's even getting 1 star. I also really didn't care for Darcy. I mean, he was kind of okay in the beginning, but as the book progressed, I started to like Darcy less and less, especially because of something he does in near the end of the book. I don't think it's something that Darcy would have done. In my opinion, Liz acts way out of character during this entire book. A second reason why I didn't like this book is that I felt like there was a lot of time spent on really unimportant things. I felt like there was so much detail about these tiny little bitty things that didn't really have much to do with the plot of the book. I also didn't care for the way the chapters were set up. Normally I don't mind super short chapters, but this book, I really disliked them. It just felt really choppy to me. The story didn't flow as much as I would have liked it to. And probably the biggest reason I didn't like this book was because of Lydia's transgression. As you recall on Pride and Prejudice, Lydia goes off with Wickham and elopes. And it's the big, oh my god moment of the book. I did not agree with the writer's choice for Lydia's transgression in this book. I don't think it was a big deal. I was super disappointed. Super disappointed. I know there are a lot of people that like this book, and while I think that's great, I think this book has a lot of issues, and I will dive into more of those in my spoiler review. I do not recommend reading this book, especially if you're a fan of the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. You're gonna be very disappointed, I think. But, I mean, if you want to give it a shot, go for it. It was not for me. And normally, I love modern retellings of Pride and Prejudice no matter how cheesy they are, but this one fell so short. I think there's a lot of problematic things in it, and I do not suggest reading it, especially if you're a big Pride and Prejudice fan like myself. So there you have it. That's my review of Eligible. Watch my spoiler review if you don't mind spoilers. I'll dive more into why I just really didn't like this book. If you liked the book, please tell me below why you liked it. We can have a conversation. I'm not gonna like bash you if you liked it. I mean, I think it's great that you liked it. I didn't like it. But yeah, let's have a conversation. I will leave a link now to my spoiler review. So if you want to watch that, click on the link. I'll also have a link below as well so that you can click on it if you don't want to interrupt the video. I hope you liked the review, and I look forward to talking to you guys next time. Bye!